Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm talking about my story on how I got monetized. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time, just haven't gotten around to it and didn't know if it fit in the videos I was doing, but I'm just gonna throw it out there because I know a lot of people are interested in their own journey and trying to get monetized. And so I wanted to share how it happened with me and how long it took and what helped and what didn't help. And so if you are interested at all, stay tuned. I started my channel in February of 2021 and I had posted 2 really cringy videos that are no longer there, so don't go looking for them. I've got them on private, but I couldn't figure out really what was gonna help me take off, and those videos just were not doing it. And so during that time, I'd asked my husband, I was like, what do I do to get my channel and myself recognized? Because I really want to start on this YouTube journey and have it propel, So I was sitting there stumped, and he's like, you need to do something that you're good at, and you're good at teaching people things that you think are simple, but are actually complicated for the general public. I was like, okay, so like what? And it happened to be that during that time, that February, March time, it was tax season. And I have been doing my taxes since I was 16. And it's just been something that is a part of my life. And he's like, well, do TurboTax, do your tutorial, show people how you walk through this system each and every year, because for other people, this is not normal. So teach them. And I just kind of laughed and I was like, it's a self-walkthrough system. Like, that's why they created the program. But he's like, yeah, but not everyone is able to do it as easily as you. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. What do I have to lose? And that was my first big hit video. You guys, I literally sat down and I walked through a very generic version of TurboTax and how to file it at the very basic level. And it was like a 45-minute video. I think I've trimmed it down now, but it was super long. I had no transitions really. I just kind of cut and paste. It was cringy. It's still cringy. I want to take it down, but it does so well that I have to leave it up. But that was my first big hit video, and it is what started to propel my channel into the next year, which is when I got monetized. In that first month of being posted for that video, that one video, I got over 5,000 views on that video, which was a lot for me. And I got over 590 hours of watch times. If you know anything about the YouTube Partner Program, you know that you need 1,000 subscribers and over 4,000 hours of watch time. And so I was like, okay, I'm inching closer, but I'm not there yet. And so how do I get there? But life kind of happened, things got crazy at home. And in 2021, I really ended up only posting, I think, 3 more videos that year, which did not do well in terms of, in comparison to that TurboTax video. And so I had a couple hundred views there, but that one video continued throughout the year to get views, even after tax time, because people were filing late and extensions, and it was crazy with, COVID and all that stuff. And it really helped my channel kind of in the background build the base that I needed to get to being monetized. So 2021 wraps up. I finished at about 113,000 views for that one video, and I hit over 12,000 hours of watch time. So I was super excited because I hit that goal, that watch time goal, but I still didn't have the subscribers I needed to get monetized. And so I was like, I need to figure out how I'm gonna do this so that I can get there, because I have the hours, I just don't have the subscribers, because people are kind of one-offing and they're watching the one video, they get their taxes done, they forget about it, even people who don't use YouTube. And so I need to get into the minds, onto the screens of those YouTubers who frequently come onto YouTube and will give me the attention that my channel needs to get monetized. Coming into 2022, I knew that I really wanted to get this going. And so I had made this, went all out. I made this calendar, I scheduled all my videos. I worked so hard. After hours, I woke up at 4 every morning to shoot and do all this stuff. And I ended up being able to push out about 20 videos from January to April of 2022. And again, a lot of them didn't do super well, not as well as my TurboTax videos. And they were all tax related. So I did other things like other programs like TaxSlayer and H&R Block and all that good stuff. But my real big videos, the 2 big videos, were my old TurboTax video, my first big video, and then I redid that video again in 2022 because taxes change every year. And so I literally did the same thing. I pushed it out. It was a better, more updated version, a better walkthrough, better graphics. It was just overall better. You could tell I had done a lot more videos since that first one. And then literally on April 8th, which if you know anything about taxes, it's like a week and a half away from the tax deadline. On April 8th of 2022, I hit 1,000, it was like 1,030 subscribers. And I had waited a little bit because I had heard that if you apply too early for the program, you could get denied because, followers fluctuate. You lose some, you gain some. And so I didn't want to apply and get rejected. So I waited until I was, safe. And then I applied and I got approved like 2 days later, just in time for the end of tax season, which was great. Side note, all you procrastinators who wait to do your taxes until the last week, specifically the last day, I love you, because you literally make tax day my most profitable day. And I laugh about this every year, but it's true every single year that I've done it. That and it's only been 2 years now, but it's the biggest day, the day where I get the most views, the most watch time, and the most revenue, because everyone waits until that day and then they file their taxes, and it's kind of a rush. And then so people come online and they're looking for videos to teach them how to file their taxes before, they get in trouble with the government. But so I was able to get paid for literally the biggest time of my niche's season. And because of that, it was a really good payout for my first month, and it did really well. And I literally tracked everything every single day. So it was an exciting time. It was a great time. It was great timing for the channel and the season itself, the niche itself. But that's what it took. It literally took about a year, 8 months of not really doing anything, having, a couple of videos, one that really took off, and then restructuring my time and my calendar to make a lot more videos, push out a lot more content that helped me propel the channel. And although a lot of those videos didn't have a lot of views, I don't think that they didn't add much to the channel. Honestly, my channel, those 2 videos brought in like 750 of the 1,000 subscribers I needed. And so obviously those 2 videos were the biggest hits on my channel. Everything else was kind of sporadic and here and there. But I think doing all those other videos really helped me kind of practice talking in front of the camera, practice editing and all that stuff. And I got a little bit better throughout that year that I was working really hard on YouTube. I know a lot of you guys are like me, and you're doing this as a side thing. It's not your full-time gig. You're not just at home doing nothing. I've been working at the same time as doing this for a part of the time I was going to school and I've had like kids and a husband and all that during this time. And so it's always crazy. I know that life is crazy for everyone. And so I'm just encouraging you guys, because it took me a long time. I know that there's some people these days that get monetized in like weeks or months, and that just wasn't me. It took me a long time. I didn't do it, very religiously. I didn't stay on top of it. I really pushed out, just like 3 months. I worked really, really hard aside from that first month, and that's what got me there. It just happened to be the timing and the fact that I was the first person doing this, a full walkthrough tutorial for TurboTax ever on YouTube. I feel like there's maybe 1 or 2 from other people, but it just wasn't that extended walkthrough, and it was kind of something else. And so it was the first kind of big video of its time, and I think that's really what helps me. And I've actually seen like change throughout the year since then, but I'll talk about that in another video. I'll also talk about how much I made in that first month and in that first year, but I'll save that and have you guys stay tuned for those things. I really wanted to touch base on just a couple tips and tricks that I've learned in that first year that it took to get monetized. So first, pick something that you're really good at, because you want to be passionate about this. You want to be an expert in that field, and it doesn't have to be some crazy like field. It can just be literally, for mine, TurboTax for beginners. And I wouldn't say I'm an expert in the fact that I know every guideline for taxes, but that I have walked through TurboTax myself for however many years. And so because of that, I know how to search for things. I know how to find things. I know how to navigate the system. And that's really what it is. I'm a normal everyday person, and I'm teaching these other normal everyday people who have normal questions, who have questions they don't want to ask tax professionals because they feel stupid or they sound stupid. And that's really what my target audience was, everyday individuals. And because of that, I was an expert in the field in that sense. So second, if you can, and it's hard these days because there's so many channels, so many creators, but try to pick something that no one has done before. Like I said, my videos hit off because they were the first of their kind and I didn't have competition. So if that's possible, do that. If it's not, like, I totally get it. There's so many creators, so many videos out there. It's hard to be the first to venture out into some kind of video, some kind of trend. And so it's difficult. But if you can, even like they say, niche down, even if you can find it. Like I said, mine wasn't a TurboTax tutorial for CPAs. It was a TurboTax tutorial for like the everyday individual. And that itself is a video all on its own, the first of its kind. I could do one for CPAs, I could do one for something else, but if you can find something like that, do it, because then you literally cut your audience down to a very specific group. And although you think that's not a lot of people, there are so many people watching things on YouTube, you can still get a lot of views and a lot of hours just from that alone, being able to narrow down your target audience. Third, and I think this is one of the most important ones, but be yourself. If you can't find a unique video, a unique idea to do, again, like I said, that's normal, but to be able to put out a video that everyone else is doing in a unique way that brings in that group, that target audience, that's your key. If you think about it, when you're on YouTube, you're not following just one travel account, one fitness account, one foodie account. You're following multiple ones, but you follow each of them because they have something that you love about them. Maybe one or two things or a couple of things, or you just love their personality. But that's what I'm talking about. Everyone's personality is unique, and there literally is an audience for every single person, and a type of person who will love, your specific channel. So whatever you have, whoever you are, bring that to the table, because what you think is ordinary is probably very unique for someone else. Like I said, I didn't think that my, basic everyday skills would be useful, but it has really grown my channel. It is what my channel is based off of. And when you add that and you pair it with something that you specifically bring to the table, your sense of humor, your laugh, your whatever it is that people love, being sarcastic or your life experience, all of those things, that's what makes you and your channel unique, and that's what's going to bring people back. You guys, literally my favorite YouTuber has really crappy edited videos, and she is hilarious. I will continue to watch her forever. I want to say she's got over 100 or so thousand subscribers, and it took her like 6 or 7 months, because she just has a personality. And so I'm telling you out there that it doesn't matter if you weren't the first in your niche, if you're not the first to do that kind of video, if you've got something about you, and everyone has something, really hone in on what that is and embrace it and just put it out there, because it's unique to you, and that's what's gonna help you stand out as a creator. My next tip is to start small. You don't know if YouTube's gonna work out. I don't say that to be negative, but I'm just saying, it takes a lot of work. It takes certain people to really launch their YouTube careers, and to be able to do that, you shouldn't go all out because you don't know where it's going. I'm not saying not to invest and not to have high hopes for yourself, but start small, start where you are. Don't go out and buy, a $5,000 camera or system or equipment. Just start with what you have. I still really love to use my iPhone. I feel like for my audience it works, because I'm not talking about high tech or anything like that. I'm just talking to the camera and I'm showing people how to do things, and it works for me. Like I said, my favorite YouTuber, I'm pretty sure she uses her phone. She doesn't have any crazy audio, the editing is very choppy. I don't think she uses anything crazy. It really depends on what who your audience is, and how you want to upgrade in the future. But for now, I think that when you're at the very beginning, start small, use what you have, and slowly upgrade as you're able to and as you need to. Next thing is to be patient and to be forgiving of yourself. Everyone's first couple videos are really cringy. Like I said, I still want to turn off my first TurboTax video, but it does so well that I'm not going to. But we all start somewhere. And if you just be patient with yourself, you're going to learn the process, you're going to learn the system and the algorithm, and you're going to learn how to best serve your audience. and help them, keep coming back for more, giving them content that is worthwhile for them. And so be patient with yourself, be patient with the process. It's going to take time. Not everyone gets monetized in a few weeks. Sometimes it takes months, years, however long it takes. Be patient, and you have to really love the grind of it all. Otherwise, you're going to get really, really caught up in all the numbers, and you're going to get caught up in just, how poorly things might do, and then you get discouraged and you could quit. And when you quit, you lose that potential that's there for everyone. I truly think that everyone can do this. I just know that it takes a lot of work and a lot of time, and not everyone understands how much work and how much time goes into the background of it. But be patient, because it will take a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and you have to be willing to invest and wait and see how it all turns out. On that note, the last tip I have is, once you release a video, kind of just let it go. Let it go into the universe. Don't fret about it. Don't think about what you about going back and fixing it and doing all these different things and freaking out if it doesn't do well. You did it, you had the idea, you threw it out there, and now just let it perform, or maybe not perform, and move on. Take the lessons that you've learned, move on, make a better next video, and don't worry about the numbers so much that come into that video, because we're all learning, we're all putting out things, we're all trying to kind of feel our audience and see what works and what doesn't. So stop stressing about what you've done in the past, just put it out there, let it go, and move on. As I said before, I really do think that anyone can do this. I think that there's an audience for every single person, every single channel, and you just have to take the time and the patience to really work your way up there. So if you are a small YouTuber and you have questions, comments, feedback, leave that down below, leave your channel link even, and I will check you and your videos out and I'll support you. I hope that you are encouraged by this and just keep pushing at it, because you're gonna get there, you're gonna get monetized. I believe in you. I'm here to support you. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys next time.